Hey everyone, I wanted to make a video on where I went wrong with persistence, why I think persistence is more than likely one of the most important ingredients, but maybe from a little bit of a different angle. And when it comes to, let's say you're looking for the perfect career, which doesn't exist, maybe you're better off persisting in something that you might not like all the time, but you find personal meaning with that instead of jumping around on the hamster wheel looking for that perfect match. That goes way beyond just the idea of magical thinking and just right surrounding OCD recovery. That goes for why most people really struggle today. I always use the example of Erica's aunt. She got her first job as a teller at the bank. I think she was 17. She was there all the way up till she was 62. So I believe she was there for 45 years almost. And I'm not saying you need to do that, but there's a lot less of that today. You talk to your average 30-year-old, they maybe have 15 jobs, 20 jobs. They say, hey, I'm just trying things out, but when I take a bird's eye view of their life, it's really understandable on why they think that's okay. But then I see a bunch of other low frustration tolerance behaviors, and basically I'm talking about myself subliminally because that's what I did for the majority of my life. So before I go any further, please subscribe, hit that like button down below. Let me know what you think about our content. I love engagement. Also, thank you for watching our content for all the years. I mean, not to get a little bit too off topic, most people know I'm a chiropractor by trade. My wife and I own our own practice in Colorado. And the practice was, a year off the ground. In the building stages, I was driving Grubhub, which is food delivery, every night to pay my bills. I was working at a restaurant called Red Robin as a service partner, and I was making YouTube videos for Rob. And I wasn't recovered. And I remember, I was doing so much better 2 years after, a year and a half after I got really, really badly latched. And I remember doing this, and then a year after that, I said, I want to coach. And my wife said, you don't have time. And I was like, I'm going to make time. And I remember she was like, oh shit. Because I'm pretty sure I said it like that. I was like, I'll sleep less. I'll make time. Because this is the most meaningful thing to me. I think it's very hard to do what we do if you haven't had chronic OCD. I think people are well-intentioned, but they miss the mark in many ways just because they don't understand the physical and mental torment of day in, day out. Mental hospitals, suicidal ideations, driving off the mountains, cops being at my house all the time, 2, 3 in the morning. One of those cops is a guy from my gym. I love that story. It's my favorite story. Door opens up, 3:30 in the morning. He walks in, one of these moments. And he's like, hey man. I was like, hi. It was so amazing. I was sitting on my stairs like, laying my head like this. I'm like, great. Awesome. This is great. And he's like, what the hell's going on? So let's talk about persistence. I can confidently say that my persistence, it's a never-ending journey. I read a great quote yesterday. I can't remember who it was by, that said, there's no such thing as being educated. Educated is an ongoing process or something like that. So my habits, my processes, and my systems in my life and how I like to live my life are ongoing and can change in any moment. But my persistence in certain things, most things, are pretty good. A lot of those things are day in, day out annoyances that, not everyone wants to deal with. The minute stuff, like every single night before I go to sleep, I make a list of what I want to do. I've actually kind of made this more in detail over the last few months. So now I have a must do and a like do. And this isn't I must and I like. You hear a lot of people in social media with the rigidity in the sense, and we all know who we're talking about, the big people that talk about it from like, you got to do this. And not from that. These are just the things that I think I must do if I want to reach my goals, which is YouTube video on persistence, 2 reels, different note-taking stuff I have to do. And then I have a like to do column, which is read. And then at the bottom of every single page, what I like to do now is I write a little bit of a quote for me to look at for the day. So today I wrote, your behaviors teach your beliefs. And then be a better problem solver. Your mission is your goals. So I was a terrible problem solver. And when I did try to solve problems, I would go to these high emotional bursts in order to get myself to a place where I could handle that problem better. So when you wake up in the morning, what's going to happen? You're more than likely going to be immediately triggered. So what are your mornings going to look like? Okay? So mornings. And if you're in the WhatsApp groups, Like I always say, if you guys are not in the WhatsApp groups, you come to a coaching call or a webinar, you get to come to the coaching group and see all sorts of special stuff that is not on the YouTube channel. It's a very unique service that we have for people that come to our services, even if it's just once. And I post the video because I'm moving here, finally moving. And, excuse me, not the place I live in now is not great because of this. I love where I live. I'm always grateful for having a roof over my head. But I found my 2020 disputing notebook. 4 years old. Whole book, literally book this big, whole thing filled. And I was showing videos in the groups and everyone's like, holy crap. A, you have really good handwriting, which I get all my whole life. And then B, wow, this is crazy. You look how detailed it was. So the mornings, okay, what is to expect? I'm just going to abbreviate. SX just means symptoms. Your symptoms, usually, not everyone, some people start a little later, will be very high. Okay, you'll have that Groundhog's Day feeling. Okay, that's what drives people crazy. So people wake up in the morning and they say, "Oh my gosh, another day." It's gonna be very similar unless you change it. I heard a great quote by Jim Rohn. Many quotes by Jim Rohn. The person you are today is what you've sown over the last 5 years. And if you want to be someone in 5 years from now that looks different from today, you have to sow that person into existence through beliefs and habits, and you're not going to feel that difference right away. So your mornings, you're going to wake up, and this is for a long time. No one likes to hear this, but I will put that. Long time. So your symptoms are going to go high. It's going to be Groundhog's Day. Okay? You're going to feel his moments made so many good videos on this. You're going to be demotivated. Very demotivated. So that's what your mornings are going to look like for the most part. Okay? Most people. Some people wake up okay. Some people aren't really waking up because they haven't slept. But just know the overall mission, the overall, consensus is you feel like shit. Right? You feel like shit. Okay. So what does that mean when it comes to persistence? So every day when I woke up, which I wake up quite early, I enjoy the early mornings. I enjoy what it gives me, my ability to go to the gym for a couple hours and not check my phone since I'm on my phone the whole day. It's part of the job. Everything in your life, again, persistence. When you pick a career, there's no such thing as I've never worked a day in my life. I've been breaking that down. That statement is asinine. Even the people that say they've never worked a day in their life, they have. And they've done a lot of annoying things. If you're a multi-billionaire and you run 17 companies, all the legal battles and paperwork and being sued, trust me, you've had a lot of annoyances and headaches. You've definitely worked before. So when you wake up in the morning, it's important to realize today is going to be very similar to the last day, most likely from a feeling perspective. But it doesn't mean you can't make changes behaviorally to start getting yourself there. So what did I have to do? So Nick's persistence. And this followed me over until today. This looks very similar. I've actually honed in on this, and it looks even a little bit better. So, again, you don't have to do this. This is just what I tend to do. So 5 a.m. I woke up at 5 a.m. Okay? I woke up, and the number one thing I did right away, this is when I went to the gym a little bit later, when I still woke up at 5 a.m., was read plus dispute. Now, there were many times where I could not keep my eyes open. You know this one? Like this. You're reading and you're like, oh, you wake up. That was, it happened, right? I was exhausted. I wasn't sleeping. I had panic, the lightning rod that hits you in the middle of the night. I've had that thousands of times. So read and dispute, okay? After that, I would get up. I know it sounds stupid. I brush my damn teeth. I brush my teeth like 3 times a week, if that. And I would just mask it with mouthwash. I was like, fuck this. I don't have any energy to do that. So I brushed my teeth, and then I made breakfast. Eric and I sleep in separate rooms. For you individuals that, married couples and relationships that sleep in the same bed, I congratulate you. You're both psychopaths. Me and Erica do not sleep in the same bed. I go to bed to sleep. No, I have my dogs and my wife wake me up. So we do sleep in the same bed sometimes, but it's rare, usually when we're traveling. So I would have breakfast, and I would kiss Erica good morning because she'd want me to do that. And I still do that every single morning. Every morning I wake up and go into her room and I give her a kiss. Every single morning. And this was a very good structure to have for my morning. And then I would go to the gym. I would say for 5 days a week. And then hike on the weekend. So this was what I thought. And when I was persisting through this, and this is so important, so my feelings didn't matter. Didn't matter how I felt from a feeling perspective. I still got these things done. Again, not because I needed to get these things done, it's because I knew that if I did these things, it would give me a much better opportunity to get to my goals, which one of my goals was OCD recovery. I didn't need that goal, but I wanted to give myself the best opportunity of doing it. So, other things that I had to persist in, and I'll really just look at like this last one, was work. I do really want to spend some time talking about this. Well, actually only a couple minutes because I have to run to another one-to-one. So there's a couple things to remember when it comes to persistence with work. No job is perfect. Okay? All jobs have annoyances. I absolutely love what I do. I love being a chiropractor. I love being an OCD coach. But those things both come with annoyances and monotonous tasks that need to be done if you want to move value in the correct direction. Okay? A lot of days will be repetitive. That's probably the complete opposite of what you hear on most social media accounts. This doesn't mean I don't love what I do. This doesn't mean I don't find great joy in it. That doesn't mean it's not very fulfilling, self-fulfilling, not in a conditional way. I don't need it to be fulfilling. Most people did not have fulfillment in what they did throughout history. I don't think the people who built the pyramids of Giza felt fulfilled or built the George Washington Bridge and stuff like that. People just did things they had to do or, really tough jobs in cities building skyscrapers. So persistence is important. Persistence goes synonymous and hand in hand with building frustration tolerance. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Persistence is not, in my opinion, what we hear primarily on social media. There's Daisy barking out there already. At least it was towards the end of the video. So keep me posted. Let me know what you think. Comment down below. Let me know some things you struggle with when it comes to persistence. And we hope to hear from you soon. Remember, you get access to the WhatsApp groups if you come to a webinar or a coaching call. And that direct message to Phil, just annoy Phil. Just prank him. Be like, Phil, I heard you're dumb. Nick told me to say that. Bye. Definitely do that. Drive him crazy so he can bitch at me. Have a good one, everyone.